Well, John says the perfect love casts out fear. So we have to be careful when we talk about fear within the Christian life. It's, if anything, the fear is the fear of offending God, the fear of displeasing Him, the fear of grieving Him. The Apostle Paul says in Ephesians 4:30, do not grieve the Holy Spirit. So I want to be fearful that I don't grieve Him. I think it's also true that I need to, in sort of a back of the mind way, be fearful of the discipline of God for disobedience. Because we find in 1 Corinthians 11 that when the Corinthian Christians were playing fast and loose with the Lord's Supper, that they were disciplined. And Paul said, that's why some of you are sick and many have fallen asleep, which is a euphemism for some have died. That's pretty severe discipline. And God can spank us. God can take us to the woodshed. But I would have to say for myself that every time that I sense that God has taken me to the woodshed, I have sensed His love. So there's a very real place in the Christian life for what the Bible calls the fear of God. And that means to be in awe of God, of who He is, of His holiness and His righteousness and His justice. But at the same time, the fear of God also comprehends His love, His mercy and grace, His compassion, His long-suffering. It's like centrifugal and centripetal force. I don't know if you're familiar with those terms, but you know, you put a rock or a big bolt or something on the end of a string, and that weight is pulling the string taut. But at the same time, you're pulling back on it. That's the centripetal force. If you let go of it, the centrifugal force dies too. The stone just falls to the ground because it needs that tension. And to me, that illustrates the fear of God. We need that tension of the centrifugal being His holiness and His righteousness, and God plays for keeps kind of an attitude. But at the same time, His love and His mercy and His grace, which pull me to Him.